Well, welcome everyone to the Lansing Catholic Podcast. I am Father Joe, the chaplain here.
And I'm Mr. Stolpa, Dean of Intellectual Formation.
And we're just going to do a little summer update.
Yeah, is this like the middle of summer, Father?
It does. I feel like we're a little past the middle of summer, but close enough.
Close enough. So it's time to give an update.
Yeah. People might be wondering, like, what's happening right now. What have you been up to?
Well, hang on. Before we get to that point, since the last time we recorded this, we're up to 80 followers.
Oh, my goodness.
So I think that we've actually gotten more followers by not having new shows, which does not seem to bode well for our primetime Emmys.
What's going to happen?
Podcast Emmy.
What's going to happen when we get up to 100 followers? Will we get a plaque or something on a wall here?
Well, I would say we would shave your beard, Father, but that's not going too well as it is. A plaque. Yes, a plaque for the 100th follower.
Yeah, so I am growing out my beard. It's my first time in my life I've tried this in a real way. I saw the bishop the other day.
Well, once you hit 22, Father, you got to start doing things like this.
I saw the bishop, and he comes right up to me, and he starts pulling on my beard. He's like, "What is this? I think you should shave it." I was like, "No, bishop. Like, let me just try a little bit longer." So
what inspired this transformation to a mountain man?
I don't know. Just kind of stopped shaving because I was lazy, and then it sort of just happened.
Do you use a straight razor, or do you use the electric one?
No, I just have like cheap Bic razors. They're 3 blades, and it's got a replaceable blade, so you can actually get like new sharp ones, but it's pretty cheap. Razors are so expensive. It's crazy how much money you could spend on those. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
When I back in my military high school days, I always had to have a very clean shave on those days. So if you had any little peach fuzz, you had to do push-ups.
Yeah. Well, you look the same. You're not growing out a beard or anything.
Oh no, I just like you. I think I shaved. I used to shave every 6 days.
Oh yeah.
That was my thing. But then my preteen daughter now is getting to the point where she gets embarrassed by me, and so I've had to up that to a few more times a week. And so I kind of look. She has taken it in. She's taken offense with my sandals now. She doesn't like. Oh, you got your socks and sandals on. She doesn't like my open-toed sandals. She likes to say your dogs are out because apparently that's a saying now.
Yes.
So they've had to redo my wardrobe for like the 4th time in my life, and there we are. I'm proper now.
Yeah. Well,
what have you been up to, Father? Where you been?
Let's see. Finished school, and then we had a couple of off-site days with the leadership team. And then I went on a service trip to the UP.
Where'd you go?
I was in Paradise, Michigan.
Oh, yeah. Does it live up to its name?
It is beautiful up there. The bugs are kind of annoying. We're like way off in the woods in this rustic retreat center. But it's certainly very nice. The weather was better this year than last year. It was pretty mild. I heard it was really, really hot down here that week. So we picked a good time to get out of town and go up north.
This has been a hot summer. I have not been thrilled about that.
So I did that, and then I did a week at Catholic Youth Summer Camp in Brighton. So chaplain that was a great time. And then 4th of July week, that's when I sailed to Beaver Island.
Where is Beaver Island?
It's up in Lake Michigan, about 24 miles off the coast, like near Charlevoix area.
How do you know you're going in the right direction?
Well, you have a compass.
Okay. Well, that's what I want to make sure. Like, you obviously can't plug it into your iPhone, can you?
No.
With the GPS?
I mean, I actually did have service all the way out there, which surprised me. But I even upgraded to a marine GPS just to be on the safe side. Okay. In case, like, fog comes up and you can't see anything. At least with this little GPS, I would have my bearings all the time.
Does the marine GPS work very similar to a car GPS?
Yes, except instead of road maps, it just has charts.
Nautical charts.
Yeah, nautical charts, which also give you the depth of the water. That's a new thing. I used to have to know, like, the old school where we just look over the side and we're like, it looks like about 6 feet. And then you bump it
down.
Stick
a pole in the ground and see what you can
I would
find.
Literally do that sometimes. I have this prod pole with a hook on there, and I'd stick it down. I'm like, we got about 5 feet down there.
How long does it take you to sail 24 miles to Beaver Island?
So we had absolutely 0 wind on the day we departed,
which is not good for sailing.
Correct. So we had to use the motor. It's a 6-horsepower outboard motor. So we ran that at full speed, and we got there in 5 hours.
Okay.
Almost on the dot.
What did you do for the 5 hours?
Well, I have an auto tiller. It's like an autopilot. So it was easier than driving because we were just going on a perfectly straight course. The water was like smooth as glass almost. So I just sat back. I read a book for a while. We had some snacks. We played some games. I was with 2 buddies from seminary. So we were going to play cards, but it's kind of hard, like the wind blowing by just from moving. It was not great for that. We played dice games. Farkle, you ever played that?
I had never played that.
Turns out the boat is a good spot for it because they call it the companion way, where your feet are is like an enclosed little area, so you can throw the dice there and you don't lose them.
Very nice. How many other boats do you see on this voyage?
On the way out, we did not see a single boat until we got to the island. Then we started seeing them. On the way back, which was Sunday after the 4th of July, we saw one boat way out there.
Now, do you dock while you're here, or what do you do at Beaver Island?
They do have a couple of marinas, but you have to pay money for those. So instead, because I'm
Just
cheap,
sneak around back?
no, you can just anchor the boat in the bay and just leave it there. And then, like, as long
Like
as
jump in the water to get to the island? Or how do you do this?
Well, yeah. So we went up to the marina and unloaded all of our stuff. And then I took the boat over in front of where the church is and just anchored it there. And then I jump in the water and, like, go to shore. But I have got a...
Did you tell him it's okay, I'm a priest, I'm allowed to park here?
I did find out the marina, the lady who worked there was a parishioner. So she was... I think she was helping me out.
So you just anchored the boat and then left it and then swam back later to get to it?
It was right in front of the rectory, and I could bring it pretty close to the shore because I have a swing keel. So it only has about a 2.5 foot draft when the keel is up. So I wanted it nearby so I could keep an eye on it.
Did you go on the other mission trip this summer to Kentucky?
I did not go. They're actually, as we're recording this, they're still down there.
They're still there?
They're getting
Okay.
back tomorrow, I think. But I said mass for them on their day of departure and gave them all a blessing. And yeah, shout out to all your Kentuckians if any of you listen to this.
Yeah, listen on the way back.
Hope you're doing well.
Get up to that 100 followers.
Yeah.
So we got a new season of the podcast coming up this year, right, Father? We got season
do.
2.
Yeah. What are we going to do for season 2?
So here's my idea. For those of you out there, and Father and I, we 2 minutes before we got on here said, do we have anything planned for this podcast? I said, no, we'll figure it out. So I think we should focus on the stories of our students this year. And so we'll put out there a way to get on the podcast, like to sign up, and maybe it'll be a Jot form or a Google form. And if you have an interesting story about something, a spiritual development or intellectual formation or social formation, let's say you want to talk about your mission trip, or over the summer you went to the Olympics in Paris, or you qualified for some scholarship through doing some robotics competition. We want to hear that story, and we want to tell these stories to the Lansing Catholic community. So, Father, let's run with this. I don't have anything
Sounds
beyond
great.
what I have in my head. So,
I like
but I
those
think
ideas.
I think we should focus on what the community, what our students do, and how they are changing the community.
That sounds great to me.
Yeah. So anybody out there, if you're interested, shoot us an email, or we'll have a way to sign up once school starts. Are we getting a producer this year?
There is a student that's going to help edit the shows, so that'll be helpful. I still have to kind of train him in how to do it, but
That's okay.
we
don't
can
know
call
what
him
we're
our
doing.
producer.
I think we should call him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think every year we should have 2 producers.
Yeah, why
A
not?
junior and a senior, so then we only have to train, and it's a 2-year commitment.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Again, we're just brainstorming things we can do.
So I do have a couple of events to advertise.
Okay.
Do you have any events you want to talk about?
No, absolutely not.
Well, if anyone's listening, this is like going to be just a few days away from when we post this, but on Tuesday, July 23rd is our summer adoration night. So we're going to have dinner at 5.
Is that here?
Yep, right here at Lansing Catholic. So we'll have pizza, adoration with confessions, and then dodgeball.
Dodgeball.
So if
With
any
the leftover pizza?
no.
Is there ever leftover pizza when a bunch of teenagers come to an event?
No, I mean, by the end, I can certainly give it all away. So I don't think I've ever brought any pizza home from those events, which is fine by me. I've got plenty of pizza in my life working at a high school. So anyways, that's Tuesday
Really?
the
Because I
23rd.
don't. How do you get so much pizza?
And then Thursday the 25th
Didn't
is
answer my
our
question.
is our trip to the Dominican Sisters of Mary in Ann Arbor.
Oh,
so
yes.
that's the girls' trip as advertised in our summer spiritual formation event. So it's not too late to sign up for that, ladies. If any girls want to come to that, we've got plenty of spots open.
Do you need to sign up for the adoration night?
I do want an RSVP just so I know how much pizza to get.
How do you find out the adoration, the web RSVP?
So I've been emailing
form?
that out to the students and staff every week, but I'll also put a link in the show notes so
Oh, good.
people can find the information there. There's also a boys' trip that's going to be in August 18th. That's the barbecue dinner with the seminarians and the bishop.
Isn't that the day before school starts?
That Let me see. I'm looking at my calendar here. It is the day before school starts. Look at you, knowing when school starts. Almost like you're the dean of intellectual formation.
Almost like it's my job.
Yes. So that's
So that's a barbecue at the Bishop.
it is.
That's what they should rename it.
Barbecue at the Bishop. You're right. That's much better than like what do they call it? I think they do call it with the barbecue at the Bishop. Actually,
That was pretty bad, Father. Either way, do you have to sign up for that?
They do have to sign up for that.
And where is that located?
It's also in the email that I've been sending.
Where is the barbecue at the Bishop located?
That one's at the retreat center in DeWitt.
Okay.
And guys have to get themselves there, so you're just
And home too, right?
Yeah, bring yourself and
you don't have to go home, but you can't stay there.
correct. And I'm not driving them, so
No.
better find their own way.
And there'll be barbecue and a Bishop.
Mm-hmm.
And will it be games?
There aren't really games. Like we pray together, we do evening prayer. There's a few little testimonies. Kind of just hang out. It's pretty chill.
Okay. It's pretty
It's usually a good turnout. Last year we lost power the day of, so the whole thing was outside instead. And it turned out to be actually kind of nice outside, so maybe we'll do it that way again.
Is this open to the entire diocese or a certain level of boys? High school?
I think you have to be in high school. Yeah, so like if you're not in high school yet, you'll be too young to go. But
even if you start high school the next day, it's okay?
Yep.
Okay.
And if you're college age, you can go. I mean, even
okay.
if you're beyond college age, you're welcome to come.
This sounds like quite an event.
Yeah, it's good.
Could I go if I wanted to go?
I mean, if they find out that you're married and have kids, they might be like, "What are you doing here?"
Well, see, this is clarifying it. You cannot be married or have kids.
No, it's like meant to be for guys that are at least the possibility of being
discerning.
a priest.
Okay.
So,
well,
no.
when you said it was the boys' night out with the bishop and the barbecue,
okay.
I
Right. It
thought
was a little vague.
just fellowship. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I will not be in attendance.
No,
Okay.
you are not welcome. You're
That's
officially uninvited.
You probably get more people that way.
Maybe we. Never mind. So I told you about what I did for the summer. What have you been doing all summer?
Oh, I've been at home for a lot of it and gone up north. We went up north for the 4th. Light up some nice fireworks, courtesy of Pro Fireworks here in Lansing. Not courtesy, I had to buy them myself. And then on Wednesday, actually this week, I'm going down to Florida. We're going to Orlando. My niece is in a goalie competition.
Oh, okay.
She qualified by winning some regionals. It's called Keeper Wars, and you try to score on each other's goalies essentially. So like, which is crazy because I always thought a goalie just goaltends. No, this one they have to try to score too.
Huh. So this is soccer?
This is soccer.
Yeah. That'll be hot.
Yes.
Going to Orlando in July.
Yes. That is a part of what's factored into this. And then so we'll go to Disney for Thursday and then Universal on Friday, which I've never been to Universal.
Okay.
But people tell me it's all about Harry Potter and I don't care for Harry Potter. So.
Yeah. I went to Florida the Christmas before last with a priest friend, and I didn't realize, but he wanted to go to like every single Disney park day after day after day.
Every day?
Yeah. He wanted to do at least
sun up
3
to
of them.
sundown?
And I was like, look, man, I will do one. So you pick one and I will suffer through it and I'll go. But I'm not.
Wait a minute. You went with the physics students to Cedar Point.
Yeah. Oh, I like rides. I like Cedar Point, but Disneyland's a little different. It's like there are some rides, but they're not that great. It's more like the themes, the Star Wars pretend thing. But like, I don't understand
it's not the real
why,
Star Wars.
I don't understand why it's entertaining for an adult because I'm like, I know this is not real. Like if I was a kid, yeah, this would probably be sweet because you think it's real, but this is all pretend. But I don't know. Some people like it. It's fine.
I mean, you could look at it, and I'll get a little. It could be the joy. Like it transports you back to the time of a child, and it's like, I think the adults who go without children. I won't say anything more than that, but I will say you'll never see me going to Disney World without my children.
Yes, I felt a little bit out of place to say the least, but it was it was kind of cool.
Did you have a collar on?
No, No, I did not wear my clerics.
They don't have Disney barbecue with the bishop.
No. The food was very good, though. I was surprised because Cedar Point food is terrible, but the food at Disney World was excellent.
Did you eat at like the regular shops, or did you have to make one of the reservation ones?
I think
you just got like some chicken fingers.
I think we had a reservation one. Maybe that's why it was good.
We ate at the castle one time. I think when my oldest daughter was in 2nd grade, we went and we lived in South Carolina, so it's an easy 6-hour drive. and we ate inside Cinderella's castle.
Yeah.
And every 10, 15 minutes, a new princess comes out. Like the bugles hit, and they said now introducing, and then someone comes out, and everyone just loses their mind.
Yep.
And my daughter Annie it was like the greatest moment of her life because she's still in that moment where she still believes.
Yes.
And oh my gosh, it's the real princess. And we had to convince her that they just keep them all captive in the castle. Or maybe it's a magical gateway to all the other worlds. I don't know what the mind of a child is like for that. So.
Yeah, it would be cool to go as a little kid. I could see that being.
Well, that's probably not going to happen anymore, Father.
No.
What have you been reading? What you been reading this summer?
So I did some good spiritual reading for my retreat. So after that trip to Beaver Island, after sailing back, I got on the ferry boat and went straight back there again because there's a rectory there that I can stay at and a church, and it's just kind of a nice place. So I read through, it's called The Gift of the Priesthood by Romanus Cesario.
Ah, yes.
I'd never really heard of him,
Father
but I guess
Cesario.
he's kind of a big deal. He's Dominican. So my Dominican sisters were very pleased
Oh,
when they heard
yeah.
I was reading Cesario. So that was very good. The book was basically just, it was actually a retreat that he gave to seminarians years ago, and they put it into a book. So that was very good. An interesting kind of grace from that I was not expecting is he was talking about the solitude of the priesthood and how there's a grace in that because it pushes you to draw closer to Jesus in that place of loneliness. But also there is like the real challenge of just being lonely. And his advice for that, he's like, whenever you're dealing with that solitude, just read a book.
Transport yourself.
And it was like this light bulb moment. I've never thought of reading like that. I've always thought of reading as a academic exercise or like purely for fun, reading sci-fi or whatever. But I'd never thought of it as like, no, that's a good way of coping with the loneliness that you face. And anyways, that was kind of an unexpected thing that I was not thinking was
your whole library is expanded now because of that.
So I read that. And then I also on that retreat read a book on St. Edmund Campion by Evelyn Waugh.
Okay.
I wasn't planning on reading that. It was just sitting on the bookshelf at the rectory where I was staying for the retreat, and Evelyn Waugh is a great writer, so I was like, oh, this looks good, and I read through all that, and that was very good. He's just, he writes beautifully. And then my book for fun, I've been working through this since before the summer because it's kind of a big book. It's called Masters of the Air.
Saw there's it's a show on Apple TV.
So it's kind of similar to Band of Brothers. Back in the day, they made that show about World War II. It's like that, except this is for the Air Force pilots. So the book is quite good. It's crazy what those guys went through. These flying fortresses. There are no foxholes in the sky, is what they say. So they had the highest mortality rate of any branch of the military in World War II because even if you survive these firefights up in the sky, there were all kinds of things that could go wrong. You could crash land. You could not have enough fuel and like land in the ocean and get lost. And it's pretty crazy.
They probably weren't the most stable of beasts either back then.
No, but those are a lot of brave guys went up there and fought that those air fights, the air war, whatever. Yeah. So that's what I've been reading.
Good deal.
There's a pretty long reading list for the students I hear. Have they been?
It's a pretty good one too. I've been in solidarity with the ninth graders. I've been working through the Iliad.
Okay.
As them as well. And I haven't read it since college. And I'm not just saying this because I want you all to read it. I've really enjoyed it.
That's good.
There's many, many passages that I have highlighted and annotated because there's good descriptions of people. There's one I can't remember. I wish I had it in my book in front of me, but it's talking about one of the Thracian princes, and they're basically like he's the only son of this king, and the only two daughters, and he's a little homely looking, and he's cowardly, and it's a great description of him. And there's been other times. There's a lot more war and killing that I remember, I will say, but I've been enjoying, and I think it's been a good exercise for these ninth graders, and I'm looking forward to when they come back and I'll have it read and we move on with that. And I'm hoping to have that finished in the next week and then move on to one of the other summer readings. I'd like to reread Mallory's Lamort d'Arthur because I remember that being one of my favorite books in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Loved all the Arthurian stuff, and just knights.
Yep.
Chivalry.
Sweet.
All that jazz.
Well, we have some updates from the staff here. So Tom Lorenz, who has worked here for 41 years.
41 years. What were you doing 41 years ago, Father?
Well, he's retiring. 41 years ago, I was not born.
Okay.
I'm turning 33 this year. So
okay.
Not even more. But he graduated from Lansing Catholic in 1977. and has worked here pretty much ever since. He's been a very faithful member of the building facilities team. He's still going to be here part-time to greet the kids in the morning.
Said he's opening the doors every morning.
So we'll still see him around in the mornings, but that'll pretty much be all that he does.
So if you see Tom out and about at that Mass or at Walmart, give him a slap on the back and tell him thanks.
Yeah, thanks for all
We tried to
those
get him on the
many
podcast,
years.
but he said he didn't have much to say.
He declined. My mom, when she came here for Mass, he's usually there to open the door for her. So that one of those times, anyways, she didn't really know anything about him, but afterwards she was like, "Who is that guy at the door?" I was like, "That's Tom Lorenz." And she's like, "He looks like a faithful soul. He looks like the kind of guy that's been here for a long time and just keeps this place running." I was like, "That is exactly right. Tom Lorenz is one of those guys that's just been coming here faithfully for decades, and now he's finally retiring." So.
Now, when the students come back here, Father, aside from Tom's retirement, will they notice anything different about the school that you've seen?
Well, some things have been repainted. I noticed my door is a nice shade of gray now.
Yep, that's what I saw. It looks like everything kind of has a whole fresh coat of paint everywhere.
I think it's just like a lot of little touch-ups here and there. I don't know of anything obviously different besides that. I mean, the chapel hasn't had anything done to it.
We have a new IT director and a IT directing office.
Oh, you're right. A bunch of the Yeah, a lot of the offices got shifted
I
around.
Trying to set you up there, Father.
I was missing
teeing
the
it
heads.
up.
So yes,
okay.
Dominic, our president, is now right next to me and Stacy DeVries in that hallway kind of between junior and senior hall. And the tech office is now down the end of senior hall, I believe, sort of where advancement used to be.
So those of you who need, freshmen, ninth graders, you will be getting your Chromebooks on the second day of class.
Yep.
So anticipate that. And anybody else, if you need Chromebooks or you have issues with your tech, it's down in the old... It's down senior hallway.
Yep.
In the old advancement office where Mrs. Wilcox was.
Yes.
Where is Mrs. Wilcox now, Father?
So on the behind the cafeteria, there's another section of the building that we don't really ever go into because it's been rented out to Faith. No.
Oh, sorry.
It's been rented out to Faith Catholic, the magazine company. But they don't really use very much of it anymore because of people working remotely. So we're actually kind of retaking over part of that. So that's where Paula and the advancement team will be, as well as a handful of other staff. I think Colleen is going down there.
I think she is, and I think Mrs. Jensen is over
Jerry
there.
Jensen.
And we're moving the spirit shop. Is that right?
That's right. I heard that as well. I think that's going to the old mail room.
That conference room when you went and when you come in, and there was an old a one table conference room in there. That will now be the spirit shop.
Yep.
And so visit there for all your school shop spirit needs.
So yeah, kind of a lot of changes now that you mention it.
A lot of classrooms are different.
Yeah, well, we'll kind of need like a map now to figure out where things are.
So students, when you come in and you're used to knowing a classroom as Mr. Spitzley's classroom or Mr. Vandenberg's classroom, those might not be the classrooms anymore. So make sure you pay attention to the numbers on your schedule. And we'll help you, of course, on that first day, which is coming up in like 34 days.
Just a couple of weeks. We'll be at orientation day.
We're excited.
Man, oh man. Summer's just flying by.
Another year coming to a beginning.
Yep.
And a summer coming to an end.
Well, I think that's about all we got, folks, because I got to go to my next meeting.
Well, you didn't tell me that. I thought we were doing an hour and a half show here.
That's all.
I thought we were bringing in guests.
I don't even want to listen to us anymore, so I'm sure nobody else does
either.
No.
We're okay, Father. Our goal this year. Last year, our goal was to get swag. Never got any. We got a map.
True.
We got one map. So we would really like more things, but if not, we would really like to be nominated for a Lansing Podcast Emmy.
What if we
Does that thing exist?
I don't think so.
Well,
what if we started giving away swag with our brand on it? Lansing Catholic Podcast.
Cougar Chat. There's been a couple of other things have appeared in our hallways of people photoshopping.
Yes. Unofficial posters.
Unofficial,
but like, what if we got actual nice swag to give away? That would be kind of awesome.
That would be pretty
Maybe
good.
we need a sponsor to donate some money so we could actually order.
If anybody out there owns a printing press and would be willing to, and if you come on our show, we give you like a goodie bag.
Yeah, or maybe we'll like give you some free advertising or something.
Cougar Chat. Cougar Chat.
All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your summer. We look forward to seeing you in August. Thanks for listening.
Tell your friends to subscribe.
And we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Father Joe.
And I'm Mr. Stolpa.
Go Cougars.
We'll see you in a few weeks.